What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome back to the show predicated on the journey of life and business. Well, everybody, today I want to talk about where we tend to waste the most time. Along the way, and talking with a lot of people, I've realized we waste the most time at the starting lines. Whenever we're about to start something new, whenever we're about to move forward in a new area and in a new way, most of our time that we waste is spent trying to figure out what that looks like, figure out how to get started, figure out what the journey, the road ahead looks like, and we get stuck in this cycle of trying to figure out every single detail, every single problem that could come up, or possible problem, and then solution, and then we just sit there frozen. We don't do anything. We don't move forward. We don't move backwards. We don't decide that this is a great idea or bad idea. We just don't do anything. So we do nothing. And it's interesting because when people experience confrontation or danger situations, there are three responses. You run towards the fire, run towards the danger to fight, you freeze, or you run away. And the one that causes the most harm to you is freezing. And that's what happens when we try and start something new. We normally just tend to freeze, and we don't know where to begin, and we don't know how to get started. And as a result, we don't do anything for a long period of time, and either until things become painful enough, or we just get up the courage to go ahead and open the door. But what happens is we're oftentimes just stuck spinning, trying to figure out what's on the other side of the door, how we're going to handle it. What about this? What about that? And this really comes from a fear of the unknown. We're very afraid of things we don't know. And to me, it seems illogical because there's nothing in this world currently right now out to kill us or harm us, at least in our day-to-days, right? And there's no more there. I'm not being hunted down by a tiger or having to go hunt deer and hoping that I, can feed my family for the week. None of that's happening anymore. What's happening now is we just get afraid of all the possible problems that could happen to us, and so we never start. But here's the thing. If you've never done this before and you're starting at the ground up, you have nothing to lose moving forward. And we lose sight of that so easily. And we lose sight of that there's really nothing to lose at this point. We can't get any lower than this. We might as well try something. And now here's the crazy thing. If you just start, if you just ship it, if you just try, before you know it, you will find yourself actually moving down the path and the journey very easily. The hardest part is to get momentum. The hardest part of driving a car is actually starting it. It actually uses the most gas in a car is to start it versus idle. And that's how it is in life. Like if we don't start, we get stuck in the same position and then we're just frozen. But once we get that momentum, once we open the door and walk into that room that we haven't been in and we start looking around, it's normally very easy to deal with things. For instance, your garage is cluttered. You've never looked into it, but you just know it's cluttered and you're afraid to open the door. You're like, I don't even know how to begin to clean the mess, but you've never even looked at it. You don't even know how to conquer the problem. You don't even know what to do because you haven't even opened the door to look at the mess or to look at the problem. And then you're just stuck. You're just stuck in the cycle of what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? The best thing to do in any given situation is just try something. And if you're wrong, if what you tried does not work, okay, you've got one thing now in your bag that you know does not work and you know to avoid. And then when you come across similar solutions that this might be a great idea, but it's like 90% like the one that didn't work for you, it's not going to work already. And so it already ups the process of elimination to figure out the solution. And I really think this is important is to stop wasting time at the starting line or even at a pivot point. When we have to change, oftentimes the next place where we waste a lot of time is in the pivot. We don't want to stop we don't want to move forward. Instead, as soon as we have to pivot, oftentimes we'll get stuck in well, how do I do this? How do I change gears? How do I switch where I'm headed? How does the destination change? And then we lose time there. And then we lose time moving forward. And it's interesting because if you look at how a lot of major companies hire CEOs, they measure everything off of decision-making capabilities and speed of decision-making and decision-making based off as little amount of information as possible. And they judge those things to measure because most time is wasted in the starting. And you always begin with a decision when you start. So anyways, guys, I encourage you, whatever you're trying to start or whatever you're trying to figure out, whether it's a new side hustle, a new job, a new position, like even just starting down on your dream, I would go ahead and ship it. Just start. You'll figure out everything not to do. Anyways, guys, I'm way over, so I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.